This guy, he's such a potato. So, chances are you're probably watching the video where I'm watching my videos, on the toilet. So, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you are, please put in some headphones. No one needs to hear the screaming videos you watch from the bathroom. And, yeah, that'll be our little secret. Alright? Sweet. If you're not in the bathroom, however, please get some refreshments, some food, kick back, relax, and enjoy a meal while you watch our review of The Division. We'll catch you guys at the end of the review. If you are in the toilet, we're on the toilet together right now. Friendship. See you later. Skipper.
The Division is an open-world RPG action game you can play with up to 3 of your friends and fight PvP in the Dark Zone and play single-player. The box says, when society falls, we rise. In the wake of a devastating pandemic that sweeps through New York, basic services fail one by one, and without access to food or water, the city quickly descends into chaos. As an agent of the Division, you'll specialize, modify, and level up your gear, weapons, and skills to take back New York on your own terms.
Hopefully the game doesn't switch to Spanish or Italian this time. Am I right?
In The Division, you'll experience a living open world, explore the city, build your base of operations, and find the source of the virus. A modern military-styled RPG. Defeat brutal enemies by leveling up and acquiring new gear, skills, and weapons.
Okay. That's so tart!
The game is rated M for mature, 17+, for blood, intense violence, and strong language. Retailing at $59.99, roughly $65 after tax. I bought my copy on Amazon.com with a Prime membership, which resulted in my copy costing me only about $52 in total.
Now, without spoiling any of the story, this is one of those atmospheric games where you get just immersed in the content, and you start dressing and kind of looking like the character in the game. I'm not going to be rating the story or talking about the story at all, mainly because story is personal, it's subjective. Some people can like it and some people won't, so I'm not going to say if it's good or not. However, it is atmospheric, and it's done in a very low-key style of storytelling.
Back up! I've got no one to send you. We've got wounded. We've got guys going over the wire. There's no one coming.
I should be in this chopper. Can't believe it's finally happening.
I think I'm getting frostbite. Yeah, fucking. Jesus.
This isn't gonna cut it. We're doing the best we can, Dr. Candle. Any suggestions you might have?
However, it's not just an open world game where it's absent of storyline. There is a story here, however, it's pretty much up to you to find it.
They're killing everyone in sight! Damn it, if they blow open the floodgates, then... Captain! They're gonna...
So, I don't know if you guys can hear, but the sound is very good. You can hear your shots echoing off of buildings nearby. The sound is very, very good.
Agent, get that precinct back under control. If that precinct goes, we lose Brooklyn.
Hostiles incoming.
The sound effects for the menus are enjoyable to listen to. Hearing the sounds of everything, just kind of these high ends mixed with these low ends, they just sound really good together. I'm definitely impressed with the audio so far. Haven't heard much in terms of music. Except there was one nice little moment in the beginning part of the game.
Located.
The tone of the game feels pretty much the same as the beta, which is a fantastic atmospheric sense of this desolate, gloom, darkness feeling that is just surrounding all of New York City. And it carries over into the full game very well. The graphics have been slightly improved, which is a very big adjustment compared to the Watch Dogs abominations that we've had in the past. However, this game nails its atmosphere. Much like the Dark Souls games, it captures this feeling and this essence that you get from it. You feel alone in the world, and you have this whole sense, you can tell what's going on in the mood of people just by walking down the streets of New York City. As for the menus are really clean. They're neat, they're fast, they're responsive, it's laid out very nicely. Now, my one gripe I had with the game was the appearance menu. Now, when you have clothes, it should be sectioned out. This wasn't. It was just hats, jackets, pants, shoes, shirts, scarves, and it was all just a row, and it was very horribly optimized. However, they fixed it up from the beta to the main game. Now it's sectioned out into jackets, pants, scarves, shirts, shoes, and it's all sectioned out very nicely, individualizing everything and keeping everything separate and not clumping it all into one disgusting menu. It's a lot more user-friendly than it was in the beta. There's a lot of menus, there's a lot of detail, and there's a lot to learn in this game. It might be a little cumbersome at first, but in no time, you'll be swapping weapons, modding them out, fixing your primary DPS, maxing your health, increasing your stamina, figure out why you have a green rifle, a blue scarf, and a green glove with a gray backpack.
Something I can't praise this game enough for is its visual aspect. It's a very visual game, as everything you do has something visual to add to the game. Such as if you have one of the scanners on your skill tree activated, there's a scanner placed on your backpack. Your guns are all done visually. If you have a different magazine, it shows you have a different magazine. Whatever you do in the game is visual, including the base management. When you upgrade a perk in your skill tree through the base management system they have, it will actually change the inside of the base to make it look better and more professional. Such as your agent. Everything you do with your agent is visual. If you upgrade a holster, it changes the look of the holster. Where if you get new boots, new clothes, new scarves, new shirts, new hats, new pants, everything is totally visual in this game. And it's very pleasing to the eye to watch your agent actually upgrade and look more professional and more decked out with gear. It's very fun to watch. Now, there are tons of weapons in this game. Rifles, light machine guns, assault rifles, submachine guns, pistols, revolvers, you name it. It's pretty much in the game. And there's multiple different firearms for each class of weapon. Different submachine guns, such as a Vector and an MP5. Assault rifles, such as an ACW or an AWC, AC unit. And an M4. So there's plenty of stuff to look at, as it is a visual game. There's tons of suppressors in the game, all looking different from one another. Hollow sights, red dot sights, scopes, ACOG sights, so many different things. Foregrips, stubby grips, whatever you want. It's in the game. Now, while I'm on the topic of graphics, I need to congratulate the development team for the snow. The snow and the lighting both are absolutely gorgeous. The graphics are really good. They're not anything new. I mean, it looks very good. The detailing is excellent. The textures are very pretty. Some of it is a little normal, kind of average, but it's average to above average, I would say, in graphics. However, the snow is phenomenal, and the lighting is borderline fantastic. Now, something I keep hearing complained about is the combat in the game. I don't know why it's being complained about. Everyone says the guns don't feel good. They really, really do. The guns feel real when you shoot them. I shoot guns all the time in real life, and the type of kick that these guns have is very realistic to how they actually would handle. So I think that's really cool personally. Burst fire or you miss. I gotta say, the gameplay is fantastic. I love the alternate pacing between the slow, lurky exploration when you're trying to find secret areas, find missing agents, look for different clues for other things, checking these echolocations, mixed with this fast-paced cover combat where it's just jumping between cover, throwing grenades, dodging grenades, blind firing, popping around cover to flank them and shoot them in the back. It's great gameplay, and I commend it. I would definitely recommend this if you like action games.
Loot is aplenty and varied. You usually have 3 to 4 greens, blue, not normally blues, but usually greens at the lower level. Greens and grays after a firefight, giving you new weapons, new modifications for those weapons, and sometimes cool new attachments and such. As for one of the big issues with the game, which is the lack of true single-player mode, there is an online-only mode, and you can play it by yourself. I've done some missions by myself, and it changes the whole tone of the game. It starts out with you're just going down the streets looking for people, and as you find them, you're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What?" However, it's much more fun to play with a friend or two. You can play with up to 3 pals, and I mean, what game isn't more fun to play with your friends, am I right? However, it's not impossible or not fun to play by yourself. I did a couple of levels by myself, and I had a great time playing alone. The missions scale difficulty based on how many group members there are in the party. So it matches, and it works really well. Speaking of the missions not only scale difficulty based on number of players in your group, they also are very, very open and replayable. I was impressed with this. I was expecting the missions to be very kind of linear, one note, and then once you beat it, you've kind of seen it. You don't really need to go back. However, with the varied and plentiful loot drops, and all the different ways to go through a level, and all the different skill trees, there's 12 skill trees in the game, by the way, you can go through with new weapons, new loot, new skills attached, new friends, no friends. There are many ways to play the game, and I would definitely go through the missions again, all by myself with friends, varied on a harder difficulty, different guns, different loot, different skill tree. It's pretty varied. Now, when you do play with friends, you're actually able to strategize just a little bit. There's not much in terms of it being a strategy or a tactical shooter, as it's an RPG action game. However, there is this light layer of strategy. Every time you start a firefight, as you normally get the drop on the enemy, you're able to place up where you want on the right, flank from the left, go down the center, find a higher point on a building, and your friend can even go around and you can coordinate gunshots and get everything done just right to ambush them and kill them all.
I heard something. Did you hear something?
Or you can just go by yourself and pick which route you want to take, do it by yourself, set up mines, use a scanner. You can do this however you want, so there is a light layer of strategy to the game. While I'm on the topic of strategy, there is a very basic and rudimentary base management system in the game. Now, what that does, every time you unlock something in your base, it'll unlock a new perk in your skill tree and upgrade a previous perk from your other skill tree. There's 3 separate, with 3 separate in those, you'll just have to see for yourself. I'm not going to waste my time explaining it. However, the base management being tied into your character's progression and skill tree is absolutely phenomenal.
Now, the game's multiplayer mode is far different from any other multiplayer games such as Halo, Call of Duty, or Battlefield, as this one has a PvE zone, not PvP. PvE meaning player versus everything, as there are AI which are hostile in the Dark Zone, and there are also players in the Dark Zone, could be hostile, could not be hostile. That's what's so interesting about this game's intricate multiplayer system, as it operates on a player versus player, but not a standard multiplayer versus mode, as you can partner up with random players, not kill people, or choose to befriend them and then be in their group with them. You can also choose to kill whoever you want. If you and your friends want to go out into the Dark Zone and kill everyone and steal their loot, by all means, go ahead.
Personally, I've been having a blast with the game. I've had so much fun playing this since the beta. I was in the closed beta and the open beta, and I'm still having a lot of fun with this game. I have yet to grow tired of it. I've put in easily over 20 hours, and I can definitely really recommend this game, and I'm happy to say that because I was looking forward to this one. Now, the gunplay is a lot of fun. The bullet spongy enemies is nothing to complain about. The story is subjective, and the graphics look great, and the sound, magnifique. Now, the only thing I haven't really discussed is the Dark Zone, which is the PvE zone, player versus everything. And there are NPCs in there to buy rare loot, rare guns. There's hostile AI in there to fight, which are higher ranking. And then there's also players in there who you can team up with or can be hostile. So it's a multiplayer area where you don't have to kill each other, but you can if you want to. Now, the reason I'm not going to review that is it's also subjective. Personally, I like the atmosphere of a tense multiplayer zone where you can have your gun aimed at someone else. You can talk at each other over the mic, say don't shoot, and the other guy says but you have loot. I say don't shoot, then he says well I'm not gonna, and then he shoots you and kills you, and you just want to find where he lives and gut him. So there you go, guys. There's a review. I would definitely recommend picking this up. I'd say full price is fine. I've given this game almost an A rank in pretty much all of its aspects. You can see that right here. And yeah, so definitely if you're on the fence about picking it up, I would pick it up. You need an internet connection, so if you don't have a strong one, I might pass this, unfortunately. However, hope you guys enjoyed the review. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. See you guys later.
Those knuckleheads.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our review of The Division. We'll see you guys in the next one on Reviews from the West.
Oh, yuck, that's not normal.
I should call my doctor.
Don't worry, Doctor. We'll get it all worked out.
No starting wasting bullets.